Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In the last topic we saw the different modes such as sport mode, auto mode, manual mode, night mode, etc. After that we understood the different camera settings such as aperture, shutter speed, ISO and white balance. Then we saw the how to choose the right camera setting for different scenarios. So in this topic we'll be learning about the principles of composition. So the principles of composition contains rule of thirds, leading lines, symmetry and balance, framing, negative space and color. So let's start with the first principle, that is rule of thirds. Rule of thirds says divide your frame into thirds both vertically and horizontally and place your subject or point of interest along these lines or at the intersection. As you can see in the two photos here, we have divided them in the thirds both vertically and horizontally, so you get these types of boxes. And here the dog has been placed on the intersection of these lines, whereas the girl has been placed on the line of these lines. It creates balance and interest in your image rather than having a subject in the center of the frame. Do not be afraid to break the rule of thirds if it adds more impact to your image. The next principle is leading lines. Use natural or man-made lines in your image to draw the viewer's eye to your subject or point of interest. Leading lines can be straight, curved or diagonal and can be found in anything from roads and paths to buildings and trees. In the two photos you can see that in the first photo the leading lines has been marked by the red arrows as shown, and well as in the first photo the leading lines are straight, whereas in the third one they are curved as shown in the figure by the red lines. So place your subject at the end of the leading line to create a sense of depth and perspective. The next principle is symmetry and patterns. We can understand by the name what it means by symmetry and patterns. Pattern simply means having some sort of lines, circles and continuous patterns in the photo. And symmetry means if the image is being cut or divided equally from the center, we can get the two identical images as shown here. Even this photo is a symmetry. Depth of field refers to the amount of your image that is in focus. Use a shallow depth of field to blur the background and draw attention to your subject. Remember to focus on correct path of your image to ensure sharpness. The next principle is framing. Use elements in your environment to frame your subject or point of interest. Framing adds context to your image and draws the viewer's eye to your subject. Keep your composition balanced and visual appealing. You can see here that we have used the windows as a frame, and this is a man-made frame, whereas this is an example of natural frames where these canyons have become a frame for another canyons. The next principle is negative space. This topic has been discussed, so it will be easy to understand. Negative space refers to empty or blank space around your subject or point of interest. Use negative space to create a sense of balance and simplicity in your image. It can also draw attention to your subject or create a sense of movement or direction. Here are the examples of the negative space, as this photo is very simple, but the negative space has been used very creatively. The next principle is color. Color can be used to create mood and emotion in the photograph. Analogous colors such as blue, green, red, orange can create a sense of harmony and unity in the photography. The intensity and saturation of color can impact the mood and emotion of the photograph. So that's all for this video. See you in the next video.